I went away to college, and while I was in college, I really discovered that it was a deeper call than just college idea. And so it was after I graduated from college that I came to Seattle. I was part of the Channel program, and I became a youth minister and just got to really find out, well, number one, about the Archdiocese of Seattle, but then number two, about ministry in general. It was really good. I think probably just being a pastor has been awesome, and I was able to start the parish at Woodinville, Blessed Teresa, now St. Teresa of Calcutta. That was really exciting just to be involved in that kind of a process. I was 12 years at Assumption and had a great experience there. Got to do a lot of things that I hadn't done before, and so it was a great opportunity for me to be there. Literally, I was there half my priesthood.
Years ago, in the Masters for Spirituality books, there was one on Julian of Norwich, and her most famous quotation, is "All shall be well." And when I read it, it made me think of the town crier. It's 3 a.m. and all is well, and just kind of knowing, no matter what we see going on in our world, in our politics, in the church, and there's some big stuff going on. Just to hear the town crier, hear the voice of the town crier. All shall be well.
I would say that just to say in ministry and the confessional is always very important to me, and my birthday is August 4th, which is the feast day of St. John Vianney, and as a priest, it didn't mean much to me before I was a priest. Now that I am a priest, it means a great deal to me. And so I've always seen the confessional as one of the most important ministries that I have as a priest, to bring people that reconciliation and absolution and healing. And so it's always have made the effort to be present in the confessional.
Probably through my part of my elementary education being when we lived at Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane, Washington, and some of the families on base bused their children into Our Lady of Lourdes Cathedral in Spokane to the elementary school there, where I was in my 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and actually 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. And then I think the exposure to the sisters and to being a server on the air bases was probably my introduction to a consciousness of church.
Other popes, but his style is just, to use an expression like, pastors should smell like the sheep they're with. Or so, and there's actually it's the gospel of this morning where Jesus says, don't wear all the fancy clothes and expect all these things like that. Pope Francis he's upset a lot of people. He doesn't dress up with all these fancy clothes or so, because he's with the people. And I think it's exciting to be in the church at this time, because with all of its ups and downs, difficulties, problems, challenges, the abuse issues, all of these things like that, we're still at a point of the Spirit is working strongly, and it's manifested in, a variety of different ways, and one of the ways is by the leadership we have now with Francis.
What would I tell the young guys? I wish that we could be a church that would practice more what we preach. And by that, I'm referring to, we have all these encyclicals and these writings from all these different popes from all the ages about social justice, just incomes, and the church is the last one to ever do it. Every place I've worked for the last 50 years, the Catholic workers in the parishes and in the schools are the lowest paid on the rung, and for some reason, we're not an immigrant church anymore. I understood that as an immigrant church, when you don't have the finances available, yeah, you don't pay top stuff. We're not that church anymore, and I think we're very negligent in taking care of our people.
Follow your heart and know that there's a road that would be especially yours, and if you can, seek out the ones that are less advantaged, and go where the struggle is. Go where the struggle is, and forget upward mobility. If you're there to be with the people and not seek anything for yourself, that's the road. It's the road of Jesus, and to look out for the ones that nobody pays attention to. That's the road, and that road will give you immense joy.
I find that to maintain hope, it's important to be rooted in a source of belief and inspiration that gives you hope. So I've always been rooted, for example, in the Word of God. That does not go away. And as Isaiah will say, we are like flowers of the field. We come and we go, but the Word of God endures forever. If you can tap into that, then you have reason to believe that what is now the case will not always be the case. This too will pass. And there is reason to believe that something, you might say, more congenial to the common good, more congenial for human flourishing, or however you want to put it, is possible.
One of the things that really impressed me too was what we call parish renewal. Priests who have been around the diocese for a good number of years. Remember that weekend that a priest by the name of Father Charles Gallagher sponsored the weekend. And I know I put on, when I was at St. Olaf's as a pastor, put on 11 of them, 5 in the spring and 6 in the fall. And it really touched a tremendous number of people. And I gave it all I could, really entered into it. And it's people will remember that, speak of it as their weekend. It was very powerful.
My consideration of a vocation did not come until after high school. And really at that stage I was giving some consideration to becoming a veterinary surgeon, because I liked animals, especially equine horses. But I had a friend that was going to the seminary at the time, and he asked me to join him. So I said, well, I'd have to think about it. But anyway, with his encouragement, I decided to go for at least a year and see how it would work out. Well, as it happened, I went and I remained. I guess there's so many things that stand out. To be able to pin them down to any one or two things would be difficult. But really, I suppose the happiest day of my life would be the day I was ordained. The day that I was ordained to the priesthood. That certainly would be number one.